Hey y'all, welcome back to the Briles Bunch, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Courtney, and today is going to be another What's for Dinner video. 4 meals that we've had recently. All of these are very easy and budget-friendly meals, but delicious at the same time, so win-win. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, I would love to have you subscribe. I post these every single week. The first recipe that I'm sharing is some baked cheddar ranch chicken, and boy was it good. We loved it so much. So for this I've got some chicken tenderloins, sharp cheddar cheese, a packet of ranch seasoning mix, grated Parmesan cheese, olive oil, panko breadcrumbs, some sour cream, and then some salt and pepper. The first thing I did was take a teaspoon of salt and pepper and mix it all together, then sprinkled it on both sides of the chicken, kind of rubbing it in decently. In a separate bowl, it was only supposed to be 2 tablespoons of that ranch packet that I poured in there, but I accidentally poured the whole thing. But you want to mix that with 3/4 a cup of the sour cream. Then put all of your chicken strips in it, mixing it around really good to get them all evenly coated. And then ideally you would have wanted to marinate this for about an hour in the refrigerator, but in true Courtney fashion, I didn't read ahead or do that. So if you want to marinate it, then go ahead, but I feel like it tasted just as good. So in a separate bowl, I mixed together our dry ingredients, which would have been the rest of the ranch seasoning packet, then a cup of the panko breadcrumbs, 3/4 a cup of sharp cheddar cheese, and then 1/4 a cup of the Parmesan cheese. Next, you want to roll around your chicken in that panko mixture before putting it on your baking sheet that has a little bit of olive oil on it, just to keep everything from sticking. And that is it. Super easy to put together, but tastes delicious. I put it in a 425-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, and this is what it looked like when it was done. So good. And we did serve this with some smothered green beans, my absolute favorite, baked mac and cheese. I did some Rhodes rolls that are really easy to do. And that is what we had for supper this night. Such a good meal. The next night we kept it really simple and did some subs. So for this, you need some sub rolls. And then I thought I would try this Ken's sweet Vidalia onion sauce to make it. I really like that Subway onion sauce that they have, so I was hoping that this would taste similar, and I was pleasantly surprised. It did taste pretty good. I also have some provolone cheese, ham, turkey, red onion, and lettuce. So I cut up my onions and my lettuce to get those prepared, and then started loading everything onto my sub. I'm curious to know what y'all's favorite sub is, like at Subway, or if you make it at home, what you guys put on yours. I keep it pretty plain and simple with just some lettuce and onions, and then the sauce. I'm all about the sauce. So for this, I layered mine with ham and cheese, and then Travis likes the turkey and cheese, and the boys like ham too. Or turkey, really. They like either, but I'm not a fan of turkey, so I did ham. And then, y'all, you see me putting lettuce on here, and I'm gonna stick it in the air fryer here in a minute, and I don't know what in the world I was thinking. Don't put lettuce in the air fryer. Ugh. I had to replace it because it was nasty. But I did stick these in the air fryer to melt everything and get it nice and toasted, and it came out so good. It was so yummy, aside from the lettuce that you'll see here in just a second. Y'all, how nasty does that lettuce look, being all crispy around the edges? But I cut mine in half and replaced the lettuce, and it was good. And then we served it with some chips on the side, and that was supper. This next night we actually made some pulled pork barbecue. Travis made it out in the smoker outside, but the recipe I'm going to share is for some Instant Pot mashed potatoes, and they are probably the best mashed potatoes that I've ever made. They were delicious and so easy. So I've got a bunch of red potatoes here. It's probably like 2.5 pounds, an 8-ounce block of cream cheese, a stick of butter, 3 cloves of garlic, some salt and pepper, and then some chicken broth. My potatoes had seen better days, but I salvaged them and then poured them all into the Instant Pot with 2/3 a cup of the chicken broth, and then the cloves of garlic. If you don't like garlic, you can leave this part out. And then I did a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Just literally pour it all in there. You don't have to boiled your potatoes ahead of time or anything, close the Instant Pot and cook it on 12 minutes. Then when it's done, let out the steam, open the Instant Pot up. This is what it looked like after they had cooked, and then you drop your cream cheese and butter in there, then just put the lid on top. You don't actually have to close it, it just traps the heat in for about 3 to 5 minutes to let those melt a little bit. And then see that stick of butter, everything just kind of melds together really, really well. I use my potato masher to mash everything up, and that is it. That is how simple those are. Seriously, I can't wait to make these again because they were delicious. We ended up taking the barbecue and the mashed potatoes, leftover macaroni to my parents' house, and they made baked beans and green beans to go along with it. That's why the lighting looks a little bit different. The barbecue is on this bun. I always put mustard on mine because I think it tastes really good, but this is what we had for supper this night. The next night we did some taco lasagna or Mexican casserole, whatever you want to call it. Very easy to make, easier than I expected. So we've got a pound of ground beef, and you need about 6 tortillas. I did some lettuce for topping. Then I had some black beans and corn that I needed to use up, so I added some of that. We have a green bell pepper, 2 cloves of garlic, refried beans, some onions, and then plenty of cheese to go on it. And then you'd also need some taco seasoning. I used a fajita seasoning packet, not pictured here because I forgot to get it out, but we were out of taco seasoning, so I did use fajita seasoning as well. So first thing we did is brown the ground beef. I also went ahead and added the garlic and bell pepper and onion to it as well. After it got cooked, I drained the meat and then added the fajita seasoning with a little bit of water just to thin it out a little bit. Then I also added in my black beans and corn in there just to heat them up enough. And then I got my 9x13 pan out, sprayed it pretty good so nothing would stick. And then you just want to layer everything. So first thing I did was put the 2 tortillas down on the bottom, then some refried beans on top, then do the meat mixture and cheese, then repeat. After you get that second layer done, you'll want to do the tortillas one more time, and then on the top, instead of adding everything else, you'll just do some more cheese to top it, and then cover it in foil, cook it for 25 minutes, and then uncover it and cook it for another 10 on 350. Y'all, this was probably our favorite meal of the week, and everything was pretty good this week, so that's saying something. This was absolutely delicious. We loved it. Even Porter, our pickiest eater, ate some of it, and he liked it, so if that tells you anything, it was so good. And then to top it, I did some sour cream, salsa, and lettuce. We thought about having some rice with it, but we kind of just snacked throughout the day and just felt like we weren't as hungry, so we just did this instead. Just make it a one-pot meal and didn't have to worry about a side or anything, and it was delicious. We probably still ended up eating a lot because we got seconds because it was that good, but this is what we had for supper this night. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that maybe it provided you with some new meal inspiration. If you don't try any other recipe in here, I would totally try this taco lasagna. But honestly, the mashed potatoes and the chicken was really good too. So any of them you can't go wrong with. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.